Talking Sports with CJ every Tuesday 3 to 4 on Sports Slam Radio. It's sports on steroids and with pure attitude. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Slam Radio. This is Talking Sports with CJ and Fonz on this Wednesday, September 5th. You just heard Bear Down Chicago Bears. It means one thing, football season's here. Are you ready, Fonz?
Oh, yeah. It feels like Christmas.
Oh, tonight is Christmas Eve. Sunday's Christmas Day for me. But first I want to talk about, first thing I want to mention is this show and station is sponsored by YouGutBenefits.com, iPitchaPerfect.com, and ibidafly.com. And if you have any questions tonight, you can call the show at 727-493-2055, or you can text me a question or a message at 727-278-9814. Ready to get into tonight, Fonz?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we're going to lead tonight with Andy Roddick retiring. He actually did lose today in the fourth round. He lost to Juan Martín del Potro, ending his career today. He said U.S. Open would be his last event. Kind of a career that won the 2003 U.S. Open, never really panned out. Fonz, I ask you, would you describe him as an athlete who never reached his potential, or would you describe him as an athlete who did?
Well, he's got 32 titles. That's the third most amongst active players. As far as the United States is concerned, he wasn't on the level of Sampras or Agassi, but he was a model of consistency as far as tennis goes, because he had 9 straight years where he finished as a top 10 player. He went to the finals of a Grand Slam 5 times, and you mentioned the one win in 2003, which was the last American to win the U.S. Open, and the 4 of those losses were to Roger Federer. So it's kind of like how Ewing and Barkley and all those guys went up against Jordan in their prime.
Right.
That's what Roddick had to go up against with Federer and all the greats. He had, considering how he started his career, he had knee surgery 2 times by the age of 17.
Wow.
And he most likely will be inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. He's got the second most wins in Davis Cup history. He brought effort, intensity, and a sense of humor that tennis never saw before, and he's got a supermodel girlfriend. So
yeah, that part's good.
Yeah,
Brooklyn Decker, he's doing pretty good if he has Brooklyn Decker as his girlfriend. But like you were saying, he had the dubious honor of having to face Federer and Nadal. 2 greats. He was just in the wrong era. If he was in a different era, maybe he could have been greater. But and then Djokovic all of a sudden came out of nowhere. So you had some great male tennis players that he had to go against. And but Roddick, I think overrated. I would overrate him as a U.S. athlete in my eyes.
I would overrate him.
Say that again?
I would overrate him as an American athlete in my eyes. I think he was overrated. I really, truly think.
Overrated. He was a top 10 player for 9 years in a row.
But just the way people promoted him. He hosted SNL. He got endorsements. I don't think he should have gained all that.
Because he was an American tennis star.
Yeah.
That's who America had. That's who we had as our star for men's tennis.
It would have been good for him to win the U.S. Open, though. I was hoping he would win this one. That would have been a good way to go out,
Yeah, but he was done, and I think he knew it.
Mm-hmm.
But he is still young, 30 years old.
Yeah.
So if he needs money, I'm sure he'll come back and play. But also, baseball's in full swing right now. A lot of games going on. It's a great time right now for the American League East.
Love that division.
Because with the Yankees losing last night, and Baltimore winning, Baltimore is tied for first. And that's the first time in Major League Baseball history that both a team from Baltimore area and the D.C. area have a share of the lead into September. Yankees have lost 3 straight. They've lost 5 of 6 and 10 of 14.
Oof.
The Rays have won 4 straight games, 10 of 11 versus the Yankees in Tampa. They're playing tonight. And Tampa is up 1-0 right now at the end of 1.
In front of 14,000 people. And that's one thing I want to say. Living here in Tampa Bay, I'm very disappointed in the Tampa Bay fans. 17,000 people at a Rays game against the Yankees when you're fighting for a division title. You fans should be ashamed in Tampa Bay. And I'm just saying because I am from Tampa Bay. And just to call them out, tickets are not expensive to go to a Rays game. It's embarrassing.
How much did you pay for your tickets?
It was like $5. So don't tell me $5. You can't even go to the movies for $5. So I'm disappointed in the Rays fans. This team is, continue the last 4 years, perennial contender. People should support this team. Go to the games. Make it a playoff-like atmosphere.
Even the concessions are cheaper, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. But as you were saying, though, the Orioles, this is the latest in the season they've been in first place, any part of first place since 97. That was the year they went to the ALCS. They've won 9 of 11. The Yankees have had their first place lead sliced by 4 games since last Thursday. Can you believe that?
Now, listen to this. This is the first time they shared the lead since June 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And no Yankee team has lost a division lead of more than 7 games. They're 19-25 since July 18th when they had a 10-game lead. And since 1993, that was the last time both the Sox and the Yankees, neither one was in the playoffs. So is it time for the Yankees to panic? Is it panic mode?
Oh, yes. And one thing that's hurt the Yankees has been injuries. Injuries have been big for the Yankees. A-Rod was out. Sabathia was out. Pettit's been out. Teixeira's been out. Injuries have caught up with this team, and I think they're underestimating. They underestimated the Rays and the Orioles. And I'll tell you, that series and the big series could be, well, this Thursday you got Yankees at Orioles. That's a big 4-game series. But the last game of the last series of the season, you have Orioles at Tampa Bay. That could be a big division series.
So listen to this. Baltimore's up 2-0 on Toronto right now.
And Yankees are down.
So if it ends like that, Baltimore's going to have a 1-game lead on the division.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Bucky Showalter. He's done a lot with that team. But moving right along now to the American League Central, another tight race. The Tigers swept the White Sox over the weekend at Comerica. The White Sox ended up gaining the lead back the night after, so they're up a game. Both teams lost last night. The White Sox are 4-10 versus Detroit this season, and they do have 4 games with Detroit in Chicago. During the White Sox have a 10-game homestand, so they'll have 4 games against Detroit at home. But in Detroit, they're just hanging in there. They're never die team. I want to ask you, who has the most depth, and who do you see taking this division between the White Sox Tigers?
Okay, by far the Tigers have the most depth. But you mentioned that 4-game series starts Monday, 4 games in Chicago. And let me tell you, the White Sox have to take advantage of that series because listen to this. The Tigers' last 13 games of the season are versus the Royals and the Twins.
Wow.
That's all.
They're
playing the last 13 games.
That's an easy path.
And the White Sox have 2 series against the Angels and the Tampa Bay Rays. So they have to take advantage of that series, especially while Cabrera, he's nursing a sore ankle even though he's playing. But I think because of that easy schedule, I think the Tigers will take the division.
And you see Prince Fielder, he's batting .433 in his past 8 games.
Well, now it's time for your stars to step up.
Yep.
That's why they paid them all that money.
And I like the Tigers. I think I said it earlier. Tigers are taking the division. White Sox missed the playoffs this year. Great story for the White Sox. Robin Ventura has done excellent in his first year as manager, but I think Detroit's got more depth.
It has to do, I think, the way they finished the season.
Yeah.
13 games against the Royals and the Twins.
Right.
That's 4 series switching off teams. I don't know who made that schedule, but
yeah.
I don't know. Moving along to the American League West, Oakland lost. They lost last night to the Angels, and they lost today to the Angels. Now they got swept by Oakland. So Texas now has a 4.5-game lead over Oakland, who leads the wild card over the Angels by 2.5 games. So that's 3 teams separated by about 6 games right there. Where was I going with that? I'm not sure, but Oakland is another team like Baltimore. They have a small payroll team, and
I love
they're
it.
hanging in there till the end. The Angels have the 4th highest payroll in the majors with $154 million. The Rangers have the 6th highest. So, of the top 10 highest payroll teams in the majors, about 8 of them aren't going to make the playoffs this year. Oakland A's, they have the 2nd to last highest payroll at $55 million. So, which brand of baseball do you like to watch?
I'm going to say Oakland.
Orioles
First of
and Twins, like Moneyball, or do you like the power teams?
I'm going to say Oakland. I mean, I can't even probably name their manager. If anyone can name their manager, I'll give you something if you call in tonight at 727-493-2055. But I'm going to say, I think, who is their manager? Bob Melvin? I don't know.
Say them. Go ahead.
But I like Oakland. They have the young stars. They have Josh Reddick. They have Tommy Malone, who's 5th in ERA right now. The Angels are streaking right now, though. The Angels have won 11 of 14. But you got to respect Billy Beane and the A's. I mean, if you saw Moneyball, it's a great movie, the way the A's do it. And, I mean, every year they seem to be in it. I mean, there's been years they've been down, but most of the time this team is in it with the crappiest, smallest payroll. And it's amazing. Billy Beane is like Andrew Friedman with the Rays. They get nothing to work with, but they make it work. And those are the GMs that are hot right now. But Billy Beane won't leave the A's. I mean, he had a chance to go to Boston to be the GM back in the day, remember?
Yeah, he turned them down. Why would he want all the pressure in Boston when he can? He knows what he's doing out there in Oakland. What they do is they look for pitchers who are middle of the rotation guys, and try to turn them into frontline pitchers. And that's what they do, and they trade him off. Look at the pickup of Josh Reddick. How good he's doing. He was American League Player of the Week.
Yeah, Reddick, and you're right. And then I mean, like I said, Malone and wait, we have Michael Pittman. Is this Michael Pittman?
No, who's this?
Oh, this is CJ from Talking Sports with CJ. How's it going today?
Good. I was calling Melanie.
Oh, how you doing?
Good.
What can we help you today?
I'm trying to call Melanie.
Melanie?
Who?
Who? You got the wrong number, dude.
Yeah. Sorry about that, pal.
The first crank call ever on Talking Sports with CJ and Fonz.
He's gonna go easy on the Bears, that guy. Though it's only 7:40.
That's great. That was a first
It's
wrong.
only 7:40. He's already wasted.
That was a great call.
Oh, that's funny.
But like I was saying, though, going back to the Red Sox.
Put the old dry clean on the phone.
What's that?
Said put the old dry clean on the phone.
Tell Nolan to cut this guy
Yeah,
off.
cut this guy off. I don't know who it is. Yeah, I don't know.
I was moving as fast as I could. Jeez.
Yeah, what an ass clown. Probably a Colts fan. But I was like, Fonz, what I was saying, though, about the whole Oakland. And speaking about Boston, though, we were just talking about Billy Beane turning on Boston. Bobby Valentine, I saw today, wants to come back in 2013 or whatever. Good luck with that.
Did you hear what he had to say today?
Huh, what was the new thing with Bobby Valentine?
You know the Big O from the Big Show, right?
What are you saying, Fonz?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you know the Big O from the Big Show here on EEI?
Oh, yeah. I know. I've heard of the show. I never heard it.
He asked Bobby V has he thrown in the towel or something like that for the season? And Bobby V said if he was here, he would punch him in the nose because of his stupid question.
Oh, man. Typical Bobby V. Well, moving along now to college football. And I know you saw over the weekend, Fonz, Penn State finally getting past the whole Jerry Sandusky thing. Finally opened their season on Saturday as they play the Ohio Bobcats. And I don't know if you've seen, by the way, not going back to Sandusky, but Sandusky has cost Penn State almost $17 million in legal costs.
That's just legal fees, not to mention all the civil suits.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy. I just saw that today, and I was like, wow, this guy's really brought down this program. But what I was going to say, though, Bill O'Brien, though, over the weekend, as we said, with Penn State, they ended up losing to Ohio. They had a 14-3 lead at halftime. It's the first time Paterno was not on the sideline since 1949. Was this the most emotional setting you've ever seen in a college football game?
It was a little too emotional. It was like too much pressure, too many emotions. Everyone was praying. It was like the locker room was tense. I heard very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did like though, that Bill O'Brien did is he put the names on the back of their jerseys for the first time in school history.
Wow.
But they lost to Ohio, a MAC team. They did win 10 games last year, but Penn State coming into that game was 19-2 all time for its current MAC teams. One of their losses was in 2000, and then their last loss was before that was 100 years ago to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a good opening drive. I was watching the game. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden running back Bill Belton fumbled inside Miami territory. They did go into the half with a 14-3 lead.
Yeah. Until Mickey Tettleton's son took over at quarterback for Ohio.
Yeah, it was the experience of Ohio that really took over. I'm curious to see how they're going to play next week at Virginia. College teams, they most improve. The week that they most improve is between week 1 and week 2. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to do next week.
Yeah, I know, and it was just, I mean, it was emotional, but it shouldn't have been. The pressure was finally off these kids that had nothing to do with this whole Sandusky thing. This thing carried on all off season, and it was good for them to finally go out and play football and forget about it. And it was a good day for Penn State. I mean, I know they lost, but the big thing was they finally got past the whole Sandusky ordeal. That was bigger than the loss. The loss, it's one loss. I mean, they're not going anywhere this year at Penn State, but they got past the Sandusky ordeal, which they had to get past, and it was great. I mean, it was good to see Bill O'Brien lead that team out of the tunnel, the crowd going crazy. It was emotional. It was an emotional day at Happy Valley, you know?
Yeah, it was. And nowhere was another good day in Dallas for Alabama. I'll admit I was wrong. I bought into the hype of Michigan at number 8. And
yeah, I know. Didn't you make a prediction over the air last week? You're telling me Michigan was going to win?
I bought into the hype. Denard Robinson, I thought he was going to start off a Heisman campaign. But I'll give you that one, all right? I was wrong. Only because I don't like Bama and I don't like Nick Saban.
I don't like Saban, but they're a great team. I mean,
what's that?
They're a great team. I don't like Nick Saban too much. I never did. But he's arrogant, but he's a good coach.
Yeah, he's starting to win me over a little bit because his players are just bigger and stronger than everybody else. But the rankings, they shouldn't come out till at least October because preseason rankings mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Alabama is the new number 1 in both the AP poll and the USA poll, they overtook USC. It's the 86th time in the 76-year history of the AP poll that the top-ranked team has won and dropped in the polls. And that's mainly because USC scheduled a bum team and Bama scheduled, a quality opponent in Michigan. So, and they rolled them the way they did. So everyone saw how Bama deserves to be number 1. I don't know how they do it. Every year they lose all these players to the draft and then they just reload the next year.
Well, one thing you can't teach is speed.
Speed and size.
Yep.
But listen to this. Listen to the schedule that Alabama has. I'm going to go through it real quick with you, okay? It's only 11 games.
Okay.
Next week they have Western Kentucky. For the rest of the and then they have the new number 8 Arkansas. The rest of the way they don't play any ranked teams until Saturday, November 3rd when they go to LSU. And then in between they play Florida Atlantic, Ole Miss, Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Western Carolina,
Wow.
and Auburn. No ranked teams.
They don't play Georgia?
So, no, they don't play Georgia.
Wow.
Only one other ranked team other than Arkansas. I don't think that's a fair schedule. However, that's an easy road to the championship game if they could get past the Bayou at LSU. So I'm going to ask you now, are they the favorite to be the first team to repeat as BCS champions?
I said last week, and I'm going to keep my stance. They are the best team in college football. Their speed, the way they dominated Michigan. Michigan was just they couldn't run any play on them. Every play they tried to run, it got stuffed. Denard Robinson was just ordinary, not even ordinary. And I don't know if you saw, Michigan State players were tweeting, ripping Denard Robinson apart, saying that their linebacker could play quarterback better than Denard Robinson, that he's terrible. Came out today. So he had a horrible game. And Michigan State, one of their rivals, called them out. But Alabama's just so awesome. I mean, defensively, they held Michigan's offense to 269 total yards. Their offense had 231 yards rushing. They 30-0 in the second quarter at one time. And I mean, it was just C.J. Mosley had a pick six. D. Milliner, their defense is just they replace guys with better players, and it's amazing how Nick Saban has turned this Bama team into a powerhouse every year.
Yeah, like I said, that the LSU game will be tough, and of course the Auburn game, that's always a in-state rivalry that's tough. But I think they're going to cruise into the championship game. Hopefully, a team like USC or Florida State can knock them off.
I can't see that happening. I really can't. I mean, USC and Florida State are good teams, but I mean, Alabama the SEC is the greatest conference in football. That's why teams want to go to that conference. That's why Texas A&M, Missouri wanted to be in the SEC. It generates money. The conference generates revenue. I mean, it's a great conference. It produces NFL players. It's speed, size.
You might see another rematch of LSU-Bama.
You are definitely going to have an SEC team in the championship. That, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be 2 or 1, but 1 will definitely be in there. I mean, every year you're going to have an SEC team until these other conferences start getting better.
Listen, the SEC is starting to get a little overrated because they're very heavy at the top, like the LSU and Bama, and after that, it kind of falls off a little bit.
You're right, because I was watching Florida over the weekend against Bowling Green, and they struggled, and they finally got their quarterback situation settled with Driscoll over Brissett, but it hasn't been the same since Urban left Florida when Tebow was gone. I mean, they were a powerhouse. They were how Bama was now. That's how Florida was 3-4 years ago.
What about this? What about this depth chart of Florida Gator quarterbacks in 2007? Chris Leak, Tim Tebow, and Cam Newton. Wasn't he the third string that year?
Yeah. Cam Newton was on Florida, and he got thrown off the team, I believe, for stealing a computer out of a dorm.
Laptop, yeah.
Yeah, laptop. Was it a laptop? Yeah, and he was supposed to be the quarterback, and then Tebow said,
picture. If he didn't do that, he would have won the starting job over Tebow.
Yeah.
You might never have heard of Tim Tebow.
I don't know if they could have benched Tebow, though. He's a god in Gainesville. I mean, he's got. I mean, he never has to pay for a dinner in his life in Gainesville.
Okay, but I'd rather have Cam Newton as my quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Newton's turned out to be the better pro quarterback, but we'll see. I mean, see what Tebow does this year with the Jets.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna move right along to Notre Dame. As you know, I'm a big Notre Dame football fan, and as you saw over the weekend, they played in Dublin, Ireland. Early game, if you were up that early. I don't know if you were partying Friday night, but 9 a.m. Saturday morning they played, and they beat Navy 50-10. They forced 4 turnovers. Everett Golson, the quarterback, was 12 of 18 for 144 yards. Oh, we got a phone call coming in. Hello? You're on the phone with Talking Sports with CJ and Fonz.
Hey, what's going on? This is Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman, what's going on, my man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Man, Michael Pittman. We got Michael Pittman on the phone. As you know, ex-Tampa Bay Buccaneer, member of the 2002 Super Bowl winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the guy with the largest arms in the NFL at the time.
What's What's going on, CJ, man? How you been?
Go, I'm doing awesome, man. It's glad to have you on the phone, and you're also on the phone with Fonz, my co-host.
What's up,
Hey,
Pitt?
buddy. Nice to meet you, Don.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on. I respect you as a player. I thought you were awesome on the Bucks. I always liked your style, and we just want to conduct a couple questions with you. And I want to ask you first: was it a sigh of relief going from Arizona to Tampa Bay in 2002? And describe that magical 2002 Super Bowl season on the Bucks.
Well, it was a great year, 2002 season. It started off kind of slow for me because first preseason, not preseason, but first practice of the regular season, man, in camp I got hurt. I sprained my ankle. But other than that, we had a great year. The defense really held us together like glue, the whole team. Offense, we clicked on all cylinders, but on the most part, we had a great season. We went to the Super Bowl, of course, played in my hometown, had a great game. So, it was a great year. Definitely some good memories.
And it must have been awesome playing with Sapp and Derek Brooks and all those guys.
What's that?
It must have been awesome to play with Warren Sapp. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you good. I was just asking.
Sorry, my phone keeps breaking up.
Oh, that's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, what I asked you was, how was it to play with Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, all those great Buccaneers?
Oh, there's all some great guys. They're all great leaders. Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, John Lynch. I mean, them guys definitely, they demanded, respect. I mean, those guys was just some great players. I believe maybe all of them will get in the Hall of Fame one day. And, we had a great team. Like I said, that team was probably the best team I ever was on. We had a great coach in John Gruden. I mean, a guy, he knows so much of football. The guy's so intelligent on so many levels. The defense, like I said earlier, carried the whole team. We scored no points, to win, the game. But the defense, they play well. They play well all season, and we came together as a team, and it was a great year for us.
Now, Pitt, you mentioned you got there in 2002. You took over for Warwick Dunn. What was it like playing under Gruden? And you think he'll be a coach again someday?
Yeah, I believe Gruden will start coaching soon. I know he really wants to coach, and I think he recently just said it. And I think, that's just his calling, his coaching. I mean, he's a great, NFL analyst, probably the best in TV right now. But I think his heart is really in the coaching. And he was just a great coach, man. One of the most intelligent coaches I've ever been around. I coached, with Shanahan too. Not coached, but played underneath Shanahan. And he's another coach. But we're speaking about Gruden. And Gruden, just a great coach, man. He loves the game. He's very passionate. I mean, you can see the facial expressions on TV. And, it's all about, him, wanting to win. He has film all the way back, from the 1970s that he breaks out and show us, game tape. And it's just crazy about all the stuff he has and the plays he creates. Man, the guy was very smart, very intelligent. And, yeah, one day you'll see him back on the coaching field.
And that whole 2002 season, the big game I remember, of course, and it's probably the biggest game, maybe bigger. I mean, the Super Bowl is huge. I mean, winning that, but the big game would have been going into the Vet and beating the Eagles, who the Bucks, their nemesis for the 2 years before, in the playoffs, and to beat them at the Vet and close that stadium down.
Yeah, it was a crazy atmosphere. NFC Championship game at the Vet, that's last game ever played in that stadium, or Eagles' last game played in that stadium, and it was very nerve-wracking at first, but we had, one goal in the end, and that was just to win that game and go to the Super Bowl. We did that. Defense played great. Offense, we scored no points to win. Coach Gruden called a great game on offense. Monty Kiffin called a great game on defense, and it was going to be tough. We knew it. Everybody had us, losing that game, except, of course, the Buck fans and, people around Tampa. But we did what we had to do. We wanted to go, to the, Super Bowl. It was like once in a lifetime opportunity, and we made the most of the opportunity. Went out there, played hard, and we got the win.
We're on the phone right now with ex-Buccaneer Michael Pittman. I want to ask you, Michael, you played in the NFL from 98 to 2008. Name some of your favorite teammates you played with, and which defensive player hit you the hardest?
My players I played with Larry Centers, Jake Plummer, other guys, a lot of great guys, Jeff Garcia, guys stand out: Michael Clayton, Cadillac Williams, Mike Allstott, John Lynch, Warren Sapp. I mean, they played with so many names that had a big impact in this league. And the person who hit me the hardest ever, I mean, it really didn't hurt. It was a solid hit, but Ray Lewis, he brought it one time, man. Chris Sims, I ran like an angle route going across the middle of the field, and Chris Sims led me right into Ray, and Ray took my head off, man. I bounced right back up, but it was the hardest hit I ever took as a player.
In 2004, you had the longest run in Bucs history, a 78-yard touchdown versus the Chiefs. And in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of your life, you only had 124 yards on 29 carries. How does it feel performing as well as you did in the biggest game of your life?
It was a great game. I mean, like I said, I was injured. I got injured the first practice of camp, and I wasn't really the same. But like I said, once in a lifetime opportunity to play in this game in my hometown, because I grew up, watching Padre games in that stadium, going to Chargers games, and just to be playing in my hometown was just like, wow, I'm playing the biggest game of my life, in my hometown. So, I just numbed up the ankle. I numbed it up. I didn't even feel it. I went out there and just played my heart out. Played my heart out, and just wanted the ball in my hands like everybody else did. Wanted that Super Bowl ring just to, hoist the Lombardi Trophy in. It all came to pass. I mean, it all happened, and it was just, so unreal at the time. Falling, all my family members there, high school principal, just going out that way, and having the game I did. It was just like a dream come true. That's what you dream to do as a child. That's what I accomplished, and I couldn't write a better book.
And also, I always heard that Gruden knew Gannon so good in that Super Bowl, so that must have helped you guys a little bit too, knowing that offense.
Yeah, and that was really surprising. That was really surprising because you see, Gannon calling audibles, and the same audibles. I remember, he's calling a smoke route on the outside, and that's just a quick slant to the receiver. I'm like, man, wow. You'll think they'll change maybe their audibles, but they didn't. So we was calling plays from the sideline, and sure enough, we was making, that's why I saw the picks. And Dwight Smith, Derek Brooks, Dexter Jackson took them back, and we had a great game.
Me and CJ always talk about how you should have been the MVP of that game, considering you were the leading rusher with the 124 yards.
Right. They said I came up. They said if I probably would have scored a touchdown, that I probably definitely would have got it. I appreciate that, guys. But they said I lost out on votes. I think I was like 4,000 behind Dexter Jackson. So they said I came in second in voting. But I got my Super Bowl ring. That's one of the most important things. I could have had a Cadillac, but other than that, man, I mean, it was like I said, it was a great time for everybody.
And I want to ask you one more question, Pitt. You later on went to Denver in your career. And, I'm a huge Chicago Bears fan. You played with Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler in 2007.
Right.
Did you see that these guys were going to be stars in this league one day down the road, playing in the offense with them?
Oh yeah, man. I forgot to say Jay when you said one of the better guys I played with in the league. Yeah, Jay probably is the best quarterback that I ever played with.
Wow.
You got the guy who has the strongest arm, the guy's super athletic. And I remember one time he threw the ball so hard to me on slant route, he dislocated my finger. And Brandon Marshall was just another guy. I think Brandon is, finally coming into his own. Like, he had struggles with, off the field things like that. But the guy's a tremendous athlete. He loves the game, and he works hard every single day at practice. I watched them both work together. And by them both linking up again, I mean, it's going to be exciting offense to watch. You got Forte in the backfield. You got a lot, on that Bears offense. David Hester, he coming in and making big splash plays. So, the Bears going to be forced to be reckoned with this year.
Hope so.
I know you're a big Bears fan, but, I think they're going to look really good out there. I think Brandon and Jay's going to surprise a lot of people.
I hope so. What did you want to plug any sites today or stuff you're doing right now that our viewers can learn?
No, I mean I'm fine, man. I want to get on and say hello to you guys. Right now I'm just going to school, finish up my degree, and then I'm trying to get back into coaching after that. So I don't need to plug anything. Just you guys keep doing the great work out there, man. It's awesome.
That's awesome. I really appreciate it, and it was awesome having you on the show today. I mean, I was a big fan of yours, and And I moved here in '02 to Tampa Bay, and that was the year, I mean, you were on the team with the Super Bowl, and it was great watching you guys. I'm not a Bucks fan, but it was just a fun year to watch you guys.
All right, CJ, I appreciate that, man. And hopefully you're doing good out that way, still getting swole. You know, I saw a couple of your pictures on Facebook, man, looking pretty big.
I got to get like you, man.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, and one more thing, Pitt. Who's your Super Bowl pick before we let you go?
Super Bowl pick. I don't know, man. Everybody always goes with the Giants, Packers, or the Patriots. I'm gonna go with the Bears this year, man.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm not saying that because you're on the phone, CJ, but I'm just saying they got a lot of good weapons on that team, and with the signing of Brandon Marshall, the missing key, I think they definitely have a very good chance in NFC to take it all the way this year.
That was the best answer. I'm gonna get myself a Pittman throwback jersey because of that. Well, it was awesome, Mike.
I appreciate it, man.
Good night.
All right, buddy. All right, man. You take care of yourself.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
That was ex-Buccaneer Michael Pittman that joined us. Great guy. Excellent football player, Super Bowl champion, Fonz. I mean, I know for me it was an honor. I don't know you got to talk to him for the first time.
Yeah, Super Bowl champion. Wow.
Yep, yeah. And should have been Super Bowl MVP. I still say that to this day. Nothing against Dexter Jackson. Derek Brooks had a great game.
He was right, though. If he gets in the end zone, for sure he gets the MVP.
But like he said, too, winning the ring was the big thing, and I agree. It's Super Bowl ring, he won it in his home state, home area, and that was good for him. And but moving right along, we were talking about back to Notre Dame, and Fonz, we were talking about how Notre Dame won impressively, 50-10 on Saturday morning. I want to ask you, with Brian Kelly, does Notre Dame have the talent to be a BCS Bowl team this year?
I went over Alabama's schedule. Are you ready for Notre Dame's schedule?
Ooh, I looked at it, but I want to hear it again.
They play 5 ranked teams.
Mm-hmm.
As far as right now that are ranked. So this coming week they play Purdue. After that they go at Michigan State, at Michigan, back-to-back weeks. Then they play Miami, Stanford, BYU, which is a very good team. Then they go to number 5 Oklahoma. They get an easier game against Pittsburgh. Then at Boston College, and they finish the season at USC. Now, how can you tell me they can make best case scenario? I went through their schedule. Best case scenario, they could be 9-3, 8-4. I don't think that's BCS worthy, but that's a real tough schedule.
Yeah, and like you said, at Michigan State, they never play good against Michigan State. They always struggle against them. Michigan State could be bad or mediocre, and Notre Dame always struggles with Michigan State. And they were USC on the road. They're not going to win that game. They're not going to win at Oklahoma, I don't think. I see 3 losses. Michigan, I mean, I don't know what to think of Michigan. Were they that bad Saturday night, or was Alabama that good, Yeah,
Bama's that good, and you're going to the big house. And then you got to play Miami the next week, which is a very good team, and then Stanford, which is a top 25 team.
I mean, yeah, and even in past years, Purdue's given them problems. Purdue's not a great team, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Notre Dame, I don't think they're BCS. They'll probably get to a decent bowl game, maybe Gator Bowl. I mean, being an independent, they can get to any bowl, really, except for maybe the Rose Bowl,
All right, let's move on to the big boys, though.
Well, wait. First, I wanted to ask you, before we move on to the big boys, I wanted to ask you real quick your 2 picks, 2 big games this weekend, Florida at Texas A&M and Miami at Kansas State. Give me your picks for those 2 games.
Okay, I gave you Michigan last week.
Yep.
Scratch that off. You can bank on this week. Texas A&M is going to beat Florida at home.
Nope, I'm doing the Gator chomp right now. I'm not a Gator fan, but Gators win. Mike Gillespie, big game. Had a big game last week. Driscoll wins his first start as Gator quarterback. How about the second game?
What was it you said?
Miami at Kansas State.
Kansas State's too good. They're too talented overall, and they're home, so I'll go Kansas State.
Me too. Kansas State's won 29 of their last 32 at home against unranked teams. Kansas State wins handily. Now we'll move to the big boys.
All right.
And I'm going to jump into the first thought on my mind about the NFL is Rex Ryan. Always the the biggest, most dramatic coach in the NFL in my eyes. Recently, he was asked basically if the Jets don't make the playoffs, is his job up? I mean, is he going to get fired? I mean, they went 8-8 last year after 2 straight appearances in the AFC title game, and his response was he's too great of a coach to get fired. He's not worried. Do you agree with Rex Ryan, or do you think his job will be in jeopardy if the Jets fail to make the playoffs this season?
Listen, he's a good coach, okay? And I'm not a Jet fan, but he's a good coach. He's been there 3 years, 48 games. His record's 28-20, 4-2 in the playoffs. Went to 2 AFC title games. He's done a good job. He took over a bad team. His worst season was 8-8. The owner loves him, and the owner loves the attention he brings to the Jets. I mean, even if they have a bad year, I think next year would be the year he's on the hot seat, not this year. It would take like a 1-15, totally losing the team for him to get fired this year.
What about John Gruden lurking? I mean, Gruden said he'd jump on the right job. You never know. I'm just saying.
What?
John Gruden being available, he said he would jump on the right job. Do they fire Rex Ryan if they don't make the playoffs? Kind of lure Gruden?
Why would the Jets be the right job?
He said, I mean, that's a talented team. I mean, it's a big market, good defense. He can work with Tebow, your boy.
He doesn't want Tebow. He's a quarterback coach.
Now you're not a Tebow fan all of a sudden? Yeah, Tebow threw the ball pretty damn good. Look at that pass he threw in the playoff game against the Steelers, the end of the Steelers season. He can make that throw when he has to.
Are you talking good about Tebow?
Yeah, I know. I actually did right now. Did I make your night?
But forget about Tebow. Let's look at your other favorite player.
Oh, right
Ryan
here.
Urlacher.
Number 54.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I hear you fine.
Okay. Urlacher, he says he's playing Sunday and that's that. As a fan, I want to see him at full strength. You know what I mean? He's the heart and soul of the Bears defense.
Right.
He's definitely a Hall of Fame linebacker. Now, relax. Go easy here.
You're getting me happy over here.
Lovey does owe it to him for him to make his own decision. If he does get hurt, it's on him. But the Bears, you're a big Bears fan, you probably know this, but the Bears are 93-77 on the field with Urlacher, 7-15 without him.
Yep.
So the Bears definitely want him back.
I do too.
Now, is he right to rush it back, or should he wait a week?
Well, first of all, you talking all the Bears, good about the Bears, made my shorts a little tight. No, I'm just kidding. But moving right along to Urlacher, I think, he has to come back. This is number one, this is a contract year for him. His contract's up after the season, and the Bears Phil Emery has basically came out and said that he's not guaranteeing Urlacher's going to be back in the Bears next year. So Urlacher has to go, if he wants to finish his career in Chicago, he's going to go out there and play every game. And NFL is a 16-game schedule. Every game is huge. If they lose Sunday to the Colts at 0-1, they got to go to Lambeau the following Thursday night. And you don't want to fall 0-2. That's usually a little bit of a hole to dig yourself out of. But with Urlacher, he has the right to make the choice, and he's not 100%. Right now, he's about 75%, and the knee worries me. It's a lot more serious than people are letting on, and I don't know, but he's the captain of that defense. I think Merrill Hodge said it best when he got injured in 2009. What Urlacher is to that defense is what Brady is to the Patriots offense, and that's true. He might not be the same Urlacher, but he's the signal caller. He's the quarterback of that defense. He lines them up on defense, the linemen,
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind seeing him in New England if they don't give him a new contract, but I doubt that's going to happen. You mentioned their opponent on Sunday, Indianapolis Colts, and Andrew Luck. Well, the numbers are in your favor because no quarterback drafted number one has won more than 7 games as a starter his rookie season, and none ever finished with a winning record if they didn't play the whole year. Since 1967, number one quarterbacks are 55 and 132.
Wow.
The first year. He's taken over for a legend. Everybody knows the story about Peyton Manning. The number 2 pick, RG3, the Redskins traded 3 first-round picks for him and a second-round pick. It's year 3 of the Shanahan plan, they call it, for Mike Shanahan. The year 3 of a 5-year deal. So there's pressure on the coach to win now. There's pressure on the Redskins. And there's just like there's pressure on the Colts and Andrew Luck.
Right.
But of the 2 quarterbacks, which has the most pressure to win?
Oh, it's hands down Andrew Luck. He's stepping into the footsteps, in the shoes of a Hall of Fame, Super Bowl champion, MVP quarterback. That's a lot of pressure. I mean, all the Colts were down last year without Manning, but years past, they've been a contender for, 10 years? So he's got a lot of pressure, especially being the number 1 pick of the draft. I know RG3 won the Heisman, and there's expectations in Washington, but Andrew Luck, it's bigger. You're replacing a Hall of Famer, a veteran.
I agree, too, but it seems like they would give Luck more time than RG3 has because of all the veterans the Redskins have, and Shanahan's job could be on the line in a couple of years. So they both have a lot of pressure. I think in the long run it would be Andrew Luck. Maybe this year it might be RG3.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but this year is Luck, and what hurts it more is if Manning has a big year with Denver, and then that's going to even make it look worse if Manning takes Denver deep into the playoffs, Then people are going to be like, wow, we let go of Manning, these Colts fans. So we're trying to get Joe. We're going to be doing our picks next. The next segment is going to be our NFL picks, Week 1 picks. We're going to go through each game.
Give them a little history about our picks.
We've been doing this since, 2003. We've been doing this picks thing every week, picks league. And every year we have a champion. Fonz, I know you've won the most titles. You got to rub that in, I know. You've won, 4?
Yeah, every game. We just pick the winners, and we keep track throughout the season.
And Joe is trying to call in right now. Nolan, Joe's picks guy, Joe's trying to call in. It's busy right now. We're trying to see if we can get Joe on the phone. But, Fonz, you've won 4 titles to my 2.
So, basically, for almost a decade, I've been picking NFL games better than you.
Oh, we have Joe on the phone right now, right?
Hey, CJ and Fonz, what's going on, guys?
It's Joe the Picks guy from Rhode Island.
Hey,
Joe,
I'm sorry, CJ, did you say that Tebow threw a bullet to beat the Steelers?
It was a winning touchdown pass. Yeah, he beat
Yeah,
Palomalo
he threw
deep.
a 10-yard pass to a wide-open Demaryius Thomas, who ran 70 yards, stiff-arming every Steeler he saw to the touchdown. Tebow had nothing to do with that touchdown.
Why am I the one sticking up for
That was all
Tebow tonight?
Demaryius Thomas.
You guys are dissing Tebow, and I'm the one sticking up for him, and I hate him.
Listen, and Ryan Clark wasn't in the secondary.
He won't be there Sunday night either. I thought we'd
Okay,
get
let's
one
get
show
these
without
picks
talking about
going.
Tebow.
I'm excited this year. I'm going to win this year.
Well, welcome to our show, Joe, with me and Fonz, talking sports with CJ and Fonz. You're going to be our weekly pick guy with us, making our picks for each game and see if you can beat us.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Fonz has already been bragging that he's got 4 championships. He's thinking he's building a Patriot-type dynasty for these picks.
Okay,
I have no comment.
Fonz?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. Let's go moving right along now to our first pick. We're going to start with the Sunday games, and we're going to open up with the Bears. Indianapolis at Chicago on Sunday, 1 o'clock. That's a holiday for me. Anybody has a wedding, party, any big thing, don't bother me. 1 o'clock, I will be watching that game. I don't care what happens to me.
I'll be so happy if Andrew Luck lights up the Bears secondary for 4 touchdowns. I will be so happy.
I'll be somber
Are
on
you
Wednesday.
picking the Colts?
No, I'm picking the Bears handily.
I'm not taking the Colts.
So I go Bears.
I'm picking the Bears.
All right, so
Bears.
Bonds, Joe, and me, we agree on that pick. New England at Tennessee.
Patriots.
Bonds?
Patriots.
All right, and I'm going New England, too. I can't. Jake Locker, I think he's going to be in for a long afternoon. And,
I don't think so. Tennessee can run the ball.
should be good. I mean, Tennessee's going to hang in there, but New England's not going to lose that game. Buffalo at the Jets, big division game. I am going to go with the Jets at home. Fonz?
I think the Jets lose I think the Jets lose 12 games this year, and this is going to be one of them.
And Joe's got his first loss of the year because I'm taking the Jets.
So Joe goes Buffalo. Me and Fonz agree with the Jets. I think Tebow scores on a Wildcat in that game. How's that for prediction?
Tebow doesn't do anything because he can't do anything. There's no Demaryius Thomas on the Jets.
What's up with you and Tebow today?
I don't think he has the skills. If he can't beat out Sanchez for QB spot, then he doesn't deserve to be in the NFL.
No, I don't know what's up with CJ and Tebow today. He's like a love fest with Tebow.
I don't get
I
it.
think he likes the muscles. He likes the muscles. That's what it is.
Oh, wait. Okay. Next game we're going to be moving on to is the Washington Redskins at the New Orleans Saints. Joe, I ask you first. Who do you like?
I like the Saints. I think RG throws 3 interceptions.
Fonz?
Very good, Joe, but I like the Saints too.
Me too. Saints don't lose at home. First game without Sean Payton, but they win. Oh, wait. We actually have a phone call coming in. You're on the phone with CJ, Fonz, and Joe. Talking sports with CJ and Fonz.
Yo, I am the Almighty One. And you better be picking the Chiefs for the Chiefs-Atlanta game.
Ooh, we'll do that game next. And unfortunately for you, I have to take Atlanta on the road.
Nah, not at Arrowhead, the loudest stadium in the world.
I'll tell you what. Give me Romeo or give me Death. I'm picking the Chiefs.
Fonz?
Joe picks with Romeo every week, but
yeah.
The Chiefs are 2-point underdogs at home. Tell me why they're going to win and cover.
Because it's opening day. Opening day. I've been to the last 3 opening days in Kansas City. I'm headed up there tomorrow to celebrate my 5th anniversary with my wife, so the Chiefs will win.
Oh, is that a guarantee?
That's a guarantee.
How about if they don't win? Do you live in Florida?
I live in Florida.
We'll have to get you in
I have
studio.
my own show at this station.
We'll have to get you in studio wearing a Raider jersey.
Oh, hell no.
If the Chiefs lose, if you're not confident, you got to come and sit here with a Raider jersey on or a Raider shirt.
I'll tell you what. When it comes to Peyton Manning, I got 2 words for him when we face him. Tamba Hali.
Uh-oh.
Enough said.
Thank you for the call. All right, so all right, Atlanta I took. Joe's got Kansas City and Fonz.
Yeah, them being at home is not a good enough reason, so I'll take Atlanta.
Wow, we're agreeing a lot tonight. That's scary. Romeo could be coaching an 0-15 team. He loves that guy. He loves Romeo. I think one year you took the Browns against the Steelers. Like Cleveland was like 2-13, and you took Romeo and the Browns back in like 06.
The Patriots were undefeated. He took the Browns.
All right, moving right along. Jacksonville at Minnesota. This was battle of the crappy teams. I'm going to go with Christian Ponder and the Vikings at home.
Yeah, I'm taking Minnesota as well.
Okay, and Joe?
Yeah, make that three of us.
Okay, and that's probably gonna be a bad game. Wow.
It's an ugly game.
All right, next game, 1:00 game. The Philadelphia Eagles going to Cleveland to play the Browns. I go in Eagles in a blowout.
I agree.
Fonz?
They did lose last year, week 1 against St. Louis, but I'll take Philly too.
All right, so we all go with the Eagles in that game. The St. Louis Rams going into Ford Field to play the Detroit Lions, one of my hated teams, but I'm using my brain on this one. I got to go Lions.
I think Kevin Smith scores a couple of TDs here. I like the Lions too.
Fonz?
Who they playing? I missed that.
St. Louis at home. Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit in a rout.
Okay, Miami at Houston. I'm going Houston at home.
Texans.
All right, Fonz?
Yeah, Houston.
San Francisco at Green Bay, the big 4:00 game at Lambeau. I got to go the Pack at home. It pains me to say that. Joe?
I agree. I'll go with the Pack as well.
Fonz?
You know, I want to take San Fran so bad, but I'm gonna go Green Bay.
All right. Seattle at Arizona. Marshawn Lynch might not play. That's what made me take. I'm going to go Arizona at home. No Marshawn Lynch possibly.
I'm going the Seahawks.
All right.
But this is going to be an ugly game.
Fonz?
I'm Seattle all the way.
I'm by myself
Your
then.
first right there.
Carolina at Tampa Bay, which will probably have about 5,000 people at Raymond James on Sunday. I'm going Carolina on the road.
Carolina, that's an easy one.
Fonz?
Tell them the package that Tampa Bay's offering the fans.
$10 seats. You get free parking in some spots. Lower level seats are like $40. It's like Rondy Barber Day, new opening day, and they still can't sell at 75% of the stadium as of now. So
You're giving out things, right?
yeah, who do you like in that game?
Carolina.
All right, Pittsburgh at Denver, the Sunday night game. Peyton Manning's first game as a Bronco. I am going the Broncos at home. Joe,
I'm going to go the Broncos. I'm going to go the Broncos as well.
Fonz?
I'm sorry, I'm watching the girl from No Doubt.
Come on,
Do the
Fonz.
pregame.
We're running low on time.
Yeah, I got Denver.
Okay. Monday night game, Cincinnati at Baltimore, the first game. I am going the Ravens at home.
I'll take the Ravens.
Fonz?
Yep, Ravens.
And the second game, who I don't know if anyone's going to stay up and listen to Chris Berman, but San Diego at Oakland. I'm going the Chargers on the road.
I'm going the Raiders.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Fonz?
Gee. Carson Palmer, Richard Seymour, McFadden. Yeah, I'll go Oakland.
All right. And the last game, the game tonight, which will be starting pretty soon, Dallas at the G-Men. I'm going the Giants at home, defending champions. They win tonight. Joe?
I think Des Bryant scores 3 touchdowns tonight. I think he's playing against the number 4 corner on the Giants. I'm going Cowboys.
Wow. And Fonz?
The last time a defending Super Bowl champion lost the first game of the year was 1999, the Denver Broncos, and that's because John Elway retired.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Dallas Cowboys are 5-0 against the Giants in opening games. This is the 6th time they played in Week 1. However, I'm taking the Giants.
Wow. And I just found out we actually still have 5 minutes to talk a little more football.
We got about 2 minutes.
No, actually we're going to go till 8:30 tonight, not 8:28.
All right.
I just found out. Looking at all these matchups, I want to ask each one of you guys, what is the most intriguing one? I'm going to start with Fonz. Out of all these games, which one intrigues you the most? Even you can count tonight's game too.
Tonight, I really don't know what's going to happen with tonight's game. I guess you can say I'm intrigued about this game because, this is a big year for the Cowboys. I think this is it for Romo. If he doesn't get to the playoffs and win, I think the Cowboys are going to be moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So, is he going to come out play good, or is he going to come out and lose again to the Giants like they lost 5 of their last 6 to New York? It's very intriguing game.
And yeah, I mean, it is a big game. Tony Romo's been compared to Eli Manning, and it was Armani Toomer said Romo's better than Manning. So, I mean, yeah, it's a lot on Romo's shoulders tonight. And I think Kiwanuka recently said, too, that he loves beating the Cowboys because of Jerry Jones. I read recently.
The Giants have been talking a lot of smack. So you better back it up.
What's your most intriguing matchup of this week 1, Joe?
I think for me, it's got to be the Packers-Niners because I think that's going to be an NFC Championship game. Niners added Mario Manningham, Randy Moss, or Michael James. I just want to see how their offense, if it's improved over last year, and they did look great last year. And the Packers, I just think if they're going to be caught, it's going to be now, and I think the 49ers are the team to do it.
You know what I want to see happen in that game? Because I hate the Packers. I want to see Randy Moss catch a touchdown and moon the Lambeau crowd like he did in the playoffs in 04. That would be awesome. If that happens, I will be a 49er fan for the night that day.
That's cool.
Most intriguing for me, but yeah, remember that when he backed up, put his butt right to the crowd. I love that. That was awesome, and I hate the Vikings too. But
Joe Buck They're nerdy about it.
Yeah, he was all like, I mean, who cares? It's football.
Yeah, it's like, buddy, nobody listens to you. We listen to Aikman anyway.
I know, it's true. The most intriguing matchup to me, besides the Bears game, because, I mean, everyone's intriguing one to me, I got to go Pittsburgh at Denver, the Sunday night game, rematch of the playoffs, Peyton Manning's first game in Denver, Sunday night football, big game, Steelers, Broncos. I mean, I can't wait for that game, and I think Peyton Manning's going to have a big game. I can feel it.
That is probably a very intriguing game. I can't wait for that.
Oh, I tell you, my day's all planned. 1 o'clock, Bears game. 4:30, Packers game. 8 o'clock, whatever, 8:30, Steelers, Broncos. I'm watching football from 1 to 11:30 all day. So don't bother me. Don't call me.
You and everybody else.
Oh, I can't wait. And college football, I mean, college football is not really big games this weekend. I might watch some of the Florida game. But
nobody in the top 25 is playing another ranked opponent.
Yeah, it's a very weak week. If again, does that sound good? I don't know, but it's a week for college football this weekend. No big matchups.
Watch out. That means trap if you're betting.
If you're betting. Oh, man, but it was a great show today with Michael Pittman. Joe, I don't know if you heard earlier. We had Michael Pittman from the Tampa Bay Bucks.
He sounds like a smart guy. You guys should have him on all the time. I loved his color that he gave, for this year with Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler. I'd love to have him on again to hear, what he thinks about, the week one, what happens in week one.
Mm-hmm. And then we had an interesting show.
Yeah, the insight from a Super Bowl champion, that's always good to listen to.
Yeah, he picked the Bears. I mean, that's just awesome. I mean, smart pick. I'm feeling good things.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting show, though. And then we had a drunk caller call in, and we had a Chiefs fan. And that Chiefs fan would not wear a Raider jersey to back it up.
I'm sorry, but the Falcons are going to roll them.
A lot of people are big on the Chiefs, though. Did Peter King take them to win the division? Because he has Denver going to Super Bowl.
He also took the Dolphins in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he always has those outlandish picks. I don't understand some of his picks sometimes. Like, looking at him. He had the Bears in the Super Bowl in 2009, and they won like 7 games. So, Joe, what's going on? You're ready for the football season, I know.
I am. Where can I find this Cowboys-Giants game if I don't have cable?
Oh, jeez.
I gotta go to the bar. I gotta hang up.
P2P4U.net.
All right. Am I gonna get viruses from this thing?
You might get some porn ads on your computer.
Sure, they already have them. What's that?
Joe, it's Channel 10.
Oh, is it really? All right, I gotta go downstairs then. I'll talk to you guys.
Go get
later.
the bunny ears.
Thanks for having me.
Rabbit ears for your TV. I'm playing.
Right,
Thanks for joining us, Joe. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, great. See you later, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
That was the esteemed Joe from Rhode Island calling us. And Fonz, it was another great show. Awesome show tonight. One of the best, I think.
Yeah, Pittman was an awesome guest. Definitely.
Yeah, it was. And, I mean, just to talk back into the whole football, getting into college football and NFL starting. I mean, this is a big week for me for sports and baseball, the playoff matchups. Any updates on this, by the way, the AL East?
Yeah, Yankees have taken a 3-1 lead on Tampa. In Tampa.
In front of 12,000 people?
Orioles and Blue Jays tied at 2 in the bottom of the 5th.
Wow, so Orioles are tied, and then the Yankees, Orioles. I kind of hope they go tied for the division going into tomorrow night for that 4-game series. That would make it good. And
also, White Sox beat the Twins earlier today. Detroit is up 2-1 on Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland's been stubborn with the Tigers the last 2 games.
They're stubborn with everybody. They got Ubaldo and Jimenez going tonight.
And I'm afraid to ask what's going on with the Cubs tonight.
Cubs are getting rolled 5-0. Right now, Washington's got runners on first and second, with nobody out. So they're looking to add to their lead. Home runs by Adam LaRoche, Grenadina, and Hopper again is 16.
Oh, the Cubs are unwatchable right now. I tried watching them what was it? What game was I watching? I think it was actually the Labor Day game against the Nationals. I was watching it at the gym. Oh my God, they are unwatchable. They are just bad. I mean, Theo's got a lot of stress he's going to be dealing with that team for the next few years because they're far from being a contender. I mean, the pieces, I believe in Theo. I mean, you know what Theo can do being a Red Sox fan, but he's got a lot of work cut for. He's got his work cut out for him in Chicago.
Giants just came out of the tunnel and they're doing the trophy celebration right now.
Wow, so I got to do 80 on US 19 to go home to catch the game. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that game tonight. Great division matchup. Great way to start the season on a Wednesday night. It was usually Thursday nights, but they got the Democratic Convention. That's why the game's being played tonight as opposed to tomorrow night. And Sunday, Fonz, I know we'll be keeping in touch with the games. Fantasy football, big matchups all weekend. Monday Night Football, we got the doubleheader with the Ravens, Bengals, Chargers, Raiders. Fun weekend of football coming up for us.
Yep, Al Michaels doing the game. He looks like he's about 100.
Yeah, he's good though. Al Michaels is one of the best in the business. Him and Collinsworth.
I like Collins. Yeah, I like Collinsworth too.
They're good.
He's not bad.
Yeah, they're good. And Faith Hill, was she on before?
No, I was trying to tell you that the girl from No Doubt was half naked on there.
Oh.
But yeah, I forget her name. The blonde chick.
Well, yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, what's her name? Yeah, I can't remember her name. We'll get into it. What is it?
Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, that's her. All right, well, Fonz, we will talk to you next week, and that's another segment of Talking Sports with CJ and Fonz on SportsSlamRadio.com. We'll talk to you next Wednesday night, September 12th, and that's about it. Go Bears.